everybody, I'm Tinna and welcome to part 2 of our AMMA Crochet Along. Whoop whoop! It's been so much fun to see all your AMMA blankets and projects come to be and see all your photos. I just absolutely love it. It's the best part of my job, without a doubt. So I actually wanted to try something new because on YouTube I like to, I try to interact with you guys, like, checking your comments and everything. That's grand, but you can't post pics and comments, can you? So I've added now below in the description a new special email where you guys can send me photos of your AMMA CAL projects, and then I'm gonna choose some favorites, and it can just be work in progress, and I'm gonna choose some of my favorite pics and add it to part 3 video, okay? So that would be fun because I really would like to interact a bit more with you guys here. A couple of things. I was a bit excited when I filmed the intro for part 1, so I forgot a few, practical things, like the pattern is available on Ravelry and on my website, and all links are below. And the kit is also available on my website, and this time I have a hard copy book, and I'm so very proud of it. I just wanted to show you a bit here. So it's such fun. I've done like 3 books in Icelandic, but this one is my first one in English, and it's just a special whole book for the AMMA CAL pattern. So I'm really proud of this one, and you can get this hard copy book on my website, and then you get the digital pattern as well. All of this available on my website. So today I'm going to show you the Amalola square, and Amalola was my great-grandmother, and we were such great friends, and she's the one who taught me how to crochet. Also, I was very excited again, so I forgot to say, but I think I said it in the tutorial, but Amma means grandmother in Icelandic. So this is obviously the AMMA Crochet Along is a tribute to all those grannies out there who we can all agree that absolutely ducking rock. So, shout out to all the grannies. So today we have the Amalola square, and here I have the tiny version, which I absolutely love. So here I take only the center part, and I've made a little cushion of it, you see? And when you take this out and you do just this bit, then it sort of looks like tiles, doesn't it? Really like the sort of smooth lines that happen here. So you can do it with the tiny version, you can do it with the simple version. Here is Amalola in the simple version. And then you can use 4 with 9, oh, how many are these now? 16 here. And then of course you can do a cushion with just one big one and add the border. So there are many possibilities. You can make a big blanket, or you can make a cushion. You can also make the small size blanket, obviously. And the kits actually work for making a small size blanket like this and 2 cushions. So many options. And like I said, I'm just loving seeing all your, seeing you guys getting creative with the pattern and seeing all the different versions. Such fun! Before we start, I'm just going to show you again the official Happy Granny. Whoopah! This is the kit. Again, you can get that on the website, or just follow these same colors in any other yarn. You can use any yarn you like, you guys, as always. And this is perfect for stash busting. I love stash busting projects. So you can just buy the main color and maybe the frame color, and then use up all your little scraps and bits for the stars. So that's one way to go. And then of course, I always keep showing my favorite, the Viking Granny. It's so pretty, I mean, and I'll have to send it back. So here it's in monochrome, and I think it just really makes the pattern pop and shows off the design. And I think really, yeah, I never managed to make monochrome myself, but whenever people work my patterns in only 2 colors, then I'm just in awe. So I really love this one. This one was made by my friend Zoe. I should just try and bribe her to not send it back. Anyways, so today it's Amalola. I'm gonna find Amalola here. Yep. It's this one here. You see? And I'm gonna show you just the center of it, because the rest is all the same from Saga, which I showed you the other time, last week. So I'll show you here the center bit, and then you follow and continue and do it, work the same as the saga. So nothing more to say, I think. Well, I'm definitely forgetting about something, but then I'll just add that next part. We're doing one part per week. So if you don't want to miss out, you might want to consider hit that subscribe button, and then you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. But I'm doing one every week now for 7 parts of the cal. Also, if you want some help with the pattern, you know, check out my Facebook group, Tinna's Crochet Club. Again, link below in the description. Just read the description, you guys, please. And don't forget to send me those pics on the special email. I would love to see some nice AMMA projects, work in progress, and then I'm gonna pick my favorites and put it in next week's video. So that's it. Let's get to it. It's Amalola. Whoop whoop. Let's do this. Okay, on to next part, the Amalola square. Amalola was, well, I can just say it, she was my favorite, my great grandma. We were great friends. Okay, so what I started here last night actually was to make the tiny Amalola square. I love these tiny versions, and once I finish my huge queen size Amma, I'm going to do some tiny projects, and I just started on that last night. And as you can see here, it makes up the most beautiful sort of romantic, a bit like Moroccan sort of tiles thing. So I'm thinking about making a cushion with this one. Hopefully I have already made it and showed you in the intro. But here I made 3 times 3. I think I'll go for maybe 4 by 4 or 5 by 5. And it's beautiful when you do it like this and just use one of the motifs, then they all kind of talk together. But I'm also going to try and make one with all the different centers and mixing it up a bit. So before we get started with Amalola, I wanted to show you that there are obviously various ways that you can play with the colors. This one here is just using one pattern color B for the flower, the rose, and then one for the frame. And I think this is actually really pretty as well. And then, but most of them I've made like this, you see, when I use one for the beginning here. And that's really supposed to be color A. The main color, so you could make it just white and then it really pops. I'm going to make a white with white center now to show you guys, but then I will often just use a random color in the middle, and then one color A for up to round what would this be, 6 in color B, and then change it up for the rose petals. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do it today with these 2 colors B actually. And I mean, you can just play with this a lot. I did try and do some extra color play, like on this one here, doing 2 color Bs here for the center bit, and I don't particularly like it. I mean, I'm going to keep it in my blanket. It's okay, it's not bad or anything, and you know, if you like it, go for it. Far be it from me to decide on how you do. But what I do want to say, and I should have said in Saga as well, but it is important that, you know, there's lots of fun color play to be had, but it is important to do the round 7 always in color A, the main color, because otherwise it just kind of ducks it all up the design. So please, I will not interfere in your color choices, but please do always make round 7 in color A, the main color. Okay, so that's done here now. So I can take these all and put them in my stacks of squares here. Maybe I should just show you my block square from last time. The AMMA SAGA. It really is lovely like this, just with one color in the whole flower. And I do like that. And if you have the kit, you can do it just like this as well. Like with 1 skein of Lietlöbi, you get 3 whole flowers for color B. So, I mean, you can play with it, of course, as you like. But I just decided to make, so I'm doing the queen size, and it's 56 squares. Yeah, I know, insanity. Each one takes like 2 hours. So I just decided like last minute to do 1 of each. I'm always using 2 or more colors in my flowers, but I decided for just last minute, I wanted to make at least 1 of each motif using just 2 colors. And I think it would be really, you know, nice to pop it up like that. Okay, so this is essentially what I'm going to show you, the tiny square now, because as you can see, they're all the same. Like the different motifs are, you know, it's always the same motif. And see, how do you say this in English? Like in really, but like it's always the same flower motif. So what changes between the squares is just the first 7 to 9 rounds. Really, it's just the center. So it's different centers, but always the same motif. So I think that's important when doing like a big thing. You want to have it coherent, but you want fun as well. So coherent fun. Oh, that sounds awful. Sounds like planned fun. Really, well, this is planned fun. I mean, Cal doesn't happen, you know, overnight. So it is planned fun. That's what I'm going to call this. The planned fun Cal. The planned fun crochet along. So this is what I'm going to show you today. Just the center, because then it's you. I've already showed you in the Saga Square how to do the rest of it. So I'm going to show you here today up to round 9. And then 10 to 23 are exactly the same as the Saga Square. So let's get to it. I already put up here round 1, and that is because round 1 is exactly the same, and I've already made mine. It's just a magic loop, and you work 15 half double crochets into the magic loop and pull it together like so. And then finish it with the invisible join. I show you all this in the Saga Square. So, and I'm sure you've made many Saga Squares by now. So, you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So this was round 1, aka me rambling on like a lunatic with my planned fun crochet along. On to round 2, which is actually exactly the same as before. Again, we are using, well, I'm using the Letlobe, which is what I recommend for the blanket. Again, you can use whatever you like, but I'm using Letlobe and hook 4mm hook. And this is one of my special dye, the pink. They made me hot pink. They made hot pink for me. Oh, I love them so. So I'm going to be using this pink here for the color B for the center. And yeah. Round 2 is like round 2 in Saga as well, but I'm going to show you anyways because I just had this center made. I actually do that a lot. I will make a few centers, and it kind of keeps you on track. You know, it's encouraging to continue with the square. So I'll make like you know, especially for the small ones. Then I will make like 9, and then I have to finish 9 before I go to bed. Okay, so we have round 1, and we're going to start with round 2, and we just insert our hook somewhere into the back loop of any loop. I will want to be on the, here's the tail from round 1, and so I'll go just a bit here to the left of that so that I can work over both my tails in this round. You're not seeing this, I have to put it here. Okay, so we pull up our yarn, leave a bit of a tail, make 1 chain, and 1 single crochet into the same stitch. And now I'm going to work over my tail here. So that's 1 single crochet here, and tuck nicely at your tail before continuing to work over it. Okay, this was 1 single crochet into the same stitch, and then we're going to do 3 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to chain 2. And oops, no, I'm not going to do a double crochet. Okay, and now we do, after the chains, this is the corner chains. Now we do 1 single crochet into the same stitch as the last single crochet, and then 4 more forwards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's 5 total we have made here now, which is one side, and then we chain 2 again. Now I'm going to drop this tail and work over the tail from round 1. And we go again 1 single crochet into the same stitch as we did our last single crochet, and then we go 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and chain 2, always working over our tail, and for the last time going to the same stitch here as we did the last one, and then 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we chain 2 for the corner, and then we do 1 final stitch here into the same stitch as our last single crochet, and then we join into, we skip the chain that we did in the beginning to fasten our yarn, and we join into the back loop of the first single crochet of the round using our color A. Again, we're always working color A in our odd number rounds and color B in the even numbers. So now we join with the upcoming yarn A, whoop whoop, with a slip stitch and one chain here just to fasten it. And now we can cut our tails here just to get rid of a bit of the tails. I do not like making the tutorials with lots of tails going on. Always take care to get it, tug at it before. And I'm gonna weave this one in. I don't like having my tails on when showing you guys. And now this is really, I got this great comment from somebody on YouTube the other day saying, it's slow TV, Tinna, just embrace it. And I just loved it, and I'm really embracing it. So I'm just like, it's okay, I can work in my tails. It's slow TV, it's supposed to be really slow and calming. The fun thing is that I'm quite excited person usually. I'm not very calm. So, but then people will tell me that when I'm talking crochet, I have a calming voice. So yes, this is all very relevant to round 2 in our Amalola square. And round 2 is now done. So is my rambling for a bit. Probably will continue with that though as we go on. Round 2, all done. On to round 3. Now we're using our color A again, and this one is really simple actually. Now I'm going to work over my tail here with A, which we just joined, and I already did the chain here, and now I'm going to do 4 single crochets working over my tail, and the 4th one lands here in the first corner chain, and then we chain 2, and then we get to the repeat, which is how many? 7 single crochets in a row here. First one lands in the second corner chain. One more here, and now I'm going to drop my tail. Usually do like 6 to 10 stitches over the tail. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The 7th lands here in the first corner chain, and then chain 2 for a corner. Okay. So that's the repeat for round 3. But I'll just continue here. Again, 7 single crochets. These are such short rounds. 7th in the corner chain. I was working into the back loop of the corner chain. And chain 2 for a corner. And again we go. 7 single crochets. And chain 2. And now we're going to finish the round here, and we started with 4, so we need 3 more here to get our 7 on this side. First one goes into the corner chain obviously, second one goes here, and then the third one sort of goes into the join. So we're going to work into this here and into the the single crochet here from the beginning of last round as well, like this. And we're going to pop our color B up on the hook and work over it as always when we do the join with a single crochet last stitch, like so. Get it nice and tight, everything. Always really important to get your joins tight. And then we join into the back loop of the first single crochet of this round with a slip stitch, foot, and chain 1. Okay, so that is round 3. Oh, and I can cut the tail. So just hold it down like this, tuck at it nicely, and cut. And then you can just pull it out a bit. Okay, so that was round 3 for Amalola. How I love her. Okay, on to round 4. Now we're working with pattern color B, aka hot pink. And now it gets just a tad complicated. Not like, okay, no, not complicated, just interesting. That was such a mommy move. Okay, so now we're going to do some slanted DCs so that we get a bit of more funky lines that are smooth, etc., as opposed to all the straight lines we did in Saga last time. Okay, so our first DC of the round is slanted to the left. So if we just look closely here, this is where this is the first stitch of the round here. And normally then if that was a normal DC, that would just go straight down to this one here. But it's slanted to the left. This is all like in the other direction if you're left-handed, you guys. So we go one stitch to the left here, okay? So it's basically we find the stitch that you're supposed to go into, go down, straight down, not into that one, but one to the left then, yeah? And obviously we have to yarn over first. So not here, but one to the left, slanted DC to the left. Did you get that, you guys? Slanted to the left. I've not been drinking. It's daytime. I hardly ever day drink. So one slanted DC to the left. Focus. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets. And so the first single crochet here is just on top of where our slanted DC was done in the row below, but it's really just basic where it goes. It's just next to it. 1 and 2 and 3, and the third one lands here in the first corner chain, and then you chain 2 for the corner. Okay, now we're going to get to our repeat, and we're going to start by doing 3 single crochets. First one in the second corner chain, always in the back loop. And now we do 1 slanted DC to the right. Okay, so we yarn over, we find the stitch that we're supposed to work into, going straight down, and we hop 1 over to the right. Okay, and do 1 slanted DC there. And just to be absolutely sure to know where you're going here, it's actually just the first single crochet after the corner chains here in round 2. Okay. And then now we're going to work 2 double crochets together over 3 stitches. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to skip the middle stitch. Okay, so together that means we yarn over, we go into the next stitch, and we have complete our double crochet and leave it up on a hook like this. Then we yarn over again. We're going to skip this stitch here in the middle and go into the next one and do our other half finished double crochet there. Now we have 2 double crochets up on our hook, and whoop-a, we take them all together like so. And don't worry, even if you can't see, like if you take them, but they will be pushed together like this and you won't see. And then we do 1 slanted DC to the left. Okay, so again, just it should be going in this one. We already used that one, so we're going into this one here. You see? And it's just the last single crochet here before the corner in round 2. You see it? But it's basically just the next one after where you did this one. Okay, and now we're going to do 3 single crochets to get to the corner. Okay, and chain 2. So that was the repeat for round 4. Let's just do it again. I love crocheting along with you. This is a crochet along, so I'm supposed to be doing crocheting along with you slowly. Okay, again, 3 single crochets. And then we do 1 slanted DC to the left. Going down and just 1 step to the left. No, to the right, I'm sorry, to the right. And then we're going to do 2 DCs together into these 2 here stitches and skip this one in the middle. So here is 1, leave it on your hook, skip and do the second one and take them together. Yes, a bit of hay. There's always a bit of hay sometimes in the Icelandic wool. I love it, it's very natural. So, whoppa, take them together like so, and then 1 slanted to the right, not to the left. Oh my God, this is awful. Doing really well here, aren't I? It's first instructions ever. First one was to the right. The last one is to the left. Okay, I have 1 more side to get this right, so let's see how it'll go. And we finish this repeat again with 3 single crochets and 2 chains for the corner. Okay, now I'm going to really concentrate on saying the correct left, not like the other left. Okay, 3 single crochets. 1 slanted DC to the right, going down and 1 step to the right, like so. The 2 together here, skipping the middle one. 2 DCs together, 1 and 2, and whoopa together, and 1 slanted DC to the left. Oh my God, I made it. Genius. Not just a pretty face, you guys. high standards, really high standards. And 3 single crochets. And chain 2. Now we've done all our 3 repeats for round 4, and we're going to finish up the round. So to finish, we do 3 single crochets, 3, and 1 slanted DC to the right. That's in this one here. And to finish the round, we're going to do our 2 double crochet together. I'm going to show you where to put those. So here we have the join actually from round 2, and it's really happy, not a coincidence because I had thought about this. We work into the join here, this one, always into the lower one, remember? Then we skip this one and then we work into this one. So we are hiding our join. So now we do 2 together, 1 here into the lower available stitch on the join there, and then another one skipping the middle and going into this one, which is just next to the one that we did in the beginning of the round. And whoop, but I take them together, and then we join into the back loop of the first double crochet of the round with our upcoming color A, tugging at it first nicely, get it all nice and tight, and joining with a slip stitch and doing 1 chain here. Okay, so that was round 4 in Amalola all done. Wunderbar. On to round 5. Now we're working with our main color, A again. And we did the chain here at the beginning, everything nice and snug. And now we're going to start this round by doing 4 single crochets. And the 4th one lands here in the first corner chain, and then chain 2. And now comes the repeat for round 5. It's 4 single crochets. 4, and now we're going to do 1 slanted DC to the right, which just means because this is the next stitch here, so it should go down here, but we're just going to go 1 to the right, which is just below the stitch that we just did. 1 double crochet here. We're going to skip this stitch obviously, but it doesn't say skip in the pattern because we're not skipping it, it's going to the right. And we're going to work 1 single crochet here into the middle stitch, into the 2 together, DC 2 together from last round. And then for this one here, we're going to do 1 slanted DC to the left. Okay, like so. And then 4 single crochets. And chain 2. Okay, so this is the repeat for round 5. We do 4 single crochets, 1 slanted DC to the right, 1 single crochet here into the 2 together in the middle of the round, 1 slanted DC to the left, and 4 single crochets. Let's do it together again. 4 single crochets. 2, 3, and 4. And then 1 slanted to the right, and that just means basically just going into the stitch that's just below the single crochet that we just did. The really only one available at this point in time. And then not work into the first DC here, just work 1 single crochet into the back loop of the middle stitch here, the 2 together DCs, and then 1 slanted DC to the left, and that one is here. It's the stitch just below this one here, yeah? And then we work 4 single crochets, and take care that the first one here is into the stitch that is just above the stitch where we just did our slanted DC. 2, 3, and 4, landing in the first corner chain and chain 2. Okay, I'm going to do my 3rd repeat here, and I will tell you while I do that this square, the Lola, AMMA LOLA square, is actually the original AMMA square. This was the first one that I made, and then obviously I just couldn't make them all the same and started changing up the center parts, but that's fun as well. But this is the original, well, and she's the original Amma as well, because she's my great grandma. She's my very dear friend and the one that taught me how to crochet as well. So everything of all that I do is thanks to her. Great big tribute. Okay, so now I did all the 3 repeats for round 5, and we're going to finish this round, and we do 4 single crochets, 3 and 4, 1 slanted DC to the right, 1 single crochet here in the middle, not work into this one, and work here, 1 single crochet into the middle stitch, and then 1 slanted DC to the left, and that one goes here in the stitch right below the first single crochet of the round, like so. And then we're gonna slip stitch join here into the back loop of the first single crochet of the round, and that we're gonna do with our color B, upcoming color. Tuck at it nice so that the join is nice and snug, and swoop swoop, slip stitch join and chain 1. So that is round 5 all done. Okay, on to round 6. This one is with a lot of DCs actually, and so it's actually not my favorite one, just to be honest. It's not you know, awful or anything, just lots of DCs. So we start the round by doing 1 double crochet here. We did the chain first obviously, and then we just go straight down and do 1 double crochet here, straight down, and another in the next stitch, and then in the first corner chain here from round 4 we do 2 double crochets, like so, and then we chain 2. And now we get to the repeat for round 6, and that is 2 double crochets here into the second corner chain from round 4, 1 and 2, and then we do 2 double crochets, just 1 into each of next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and then we do 2 double crochets into the next stitch, this one here, which is sort of behind our DC here, 1 and 2, and then we're going to skip this stitch here, and we're going to work a front post DC around our 2 DC together here from round 4. So we yarn over and we insert our hook behind the 2 double crochets we worked together here in round 4, and we pull our yarn up, always giving a bit of a slack here. Okay, and then we yarn over and go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. So we have this really nice picot here. Lovely. And then we skip this stitch here, the slanted DC from last round, yarn over, and we're going to go fishing here and go into this stitch here and do 2 double crochets. And then we do 1 in the next one and another in the next, and then we do 2 double crochets into the first corner chain here from round 4. Okay, and then chain 2. So this is the repeat for round 6. We do 2 double crochets into the corner chain, then 1 and 2 double crochets, just 1 into each stitch here, 2 double crochets into the next stitch, skip the slanted DC, 1 front post around the 2 DCs together from round 4, skip the other DC, 2 double crochets into the next stitch, which is a bit hidden, so you have to go fish for it, 1 and 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets into the same stitch here, the first corner chain from round 4. Okay, and on we go. So, I mean, it's not complicated or horrible or anything this round, it's just a lot of DCs, and you know, so it takes a bit longer than the other rounds. But I do love making the front post there in the middle. That's like a magical moment. 2 here, skipping the slanted one, and our front post around the 2 double crochet together here. And always giving it a bit of a slack upwards, and oh, you see how it's just, oh, I mean, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Yes, it is. Skip the slanted DC, go fishing here for the next stitch and do 2 DCs into that one. And next up are 2 DCs, 1 into each of the next 2 stitches, and 2 into the corner chain. And chain 2. Okay, I'm just going to keep going because it really just doesn't seem like worth it to stop filming for one side here. What can I tell you more about my Amma Lola? Oh, she was so great. I used to do sleepovers with her all the time when I was a kid. I loved doing sleepover. We used to watch Derek. It was like a German detective show. That's why I'm so into detective shows. And we would play cards, and I could always choose what was for dinner. And then we would do embroidery and crochet and just chat. And she lived downtown here, close to just a couple of streets from where I live now. And then we would, you know, take walks downtown, and it was just great. I miss her still, but I'm very lucky to have had her. Until I was 13, I had her around, so that's a gift. Okay, that was the last repeat for round 6. And now we do 2 double crochets to finish the round. We do 2 double crochets here into the second corner chain here. If it wants to go in, yeah, there we go. 2 double crochets. And into the same stitch there, and then 1 and 1 here. Like so. And then 2 double crochets into the next stitch, where we have to go fishing a bit behind the slanted DC from last round. And then we do our magical front post around the 2 DCs together, always giving a bit of extra tug up before we. And this one actually, like, do take care to make it really, have it really neat. I will sometimes unravel this one and do it again if I'm not completely happy with how it turned out. And then we finish the round by doing 2 double crochets into this stitch here, the hidden one, sort of 1 and 2. And this is actually the last stitch now, last round with this color B, because I'm going to change the color B for the petals. And we join with a slip stitch into the back loop of the first double crochet of the round, like so, and chain 1. Okay, so that was round 6 for Amma Lola. All done. Okay, on to round 7 then. Now we're going to use our color A again, and we start with, we did the chain, and then it's 4 single crochets. Oops, I forgot, I'm going to work over my tail here, because we just changed the color B now and cut the yarn, so I'm going to work over the tail now. 4 single crochets, 4th length in the first corner chain, and then chain 2. And now we get to the repeat for round 7. It is 7 single crochets, first one in the corner chain. Work a few more stitches here over my tail, and then just drop it. Whoop. 6 and 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we're going to do a front post double, 2 together, front post double crochet. Okay, so we yarn over, and we're going to work those around our slanted DCs here from round 5, yeah? So we yarn over, and the first one goes around the one to the right. And as always, just pull it up a bit here before going through 2. And we're going to keep it like this. And then we're going to do the second one, yarn over, and the second one goes around this slanted DC here. And this one actually needs a bit, even more of an extra leeway there, like so. And we'll work them together. Nice. And now we do again 7 single crochets. And the 7th lands in the first corner chain, and chain 2. Okay, let's do it again. 7 single crochets. And then the front post 2 together DC here now. First one goes around the slanted DC here to the right, and some extra slack like so. Second one goes around the other one, and some extra slack and up, and then pull them both together, close them together like so, and then it's 7 single crochets. Easy peasy. This round I think is really fun actually, and this is the last round if you're doing the tiny Amalola squares, and then chain 2 at the end. Okay, I'm just going to continue going here, do the third and last repeat. The 2 together, slanted the front post DCs here. First one around the DC to the right, second one around the DC to the left, extra slack, and when we have them both on a hook, then we close them together like so. And the first single crochet here after the 2 together, just have to remember to take it here, it's a bit almost hidden there, but just take care, it's always 7 single crochets on each side of the 2 together front post there in the middle. Okay, the 7th lands here in the first corner chain, and then chain 2. And now we finish the round by doing again 7 single crochets. Like so, and then the 2 front posts work together. Close them up together like so, and now we finish the round with 3 single crochets. 1 and 2 and 3. If you're using the same color B here to continue, then you would work this last stitch here around the upcoming yarn, but I'm changing color, so I don't have I've already worked over my end here. Okay, and before I join, I'm just gonna tuck at this and cut this yarn, this tail here, tuck at it nicely so everything is nice and tight at the join, and then I join with my new color B, which is going to be the other favorite one, the turquoise one. This has been such a joy to have Eastex make the colors that I want. It's like a dream come true. Okay, we join into the back loop of the first single crochet of the round with color B. In this case now here our new color B, and chain 1. Okay, so this was round 7. And as you can see, this is the last round actually when we're doing the tiny saga. These are blocks, so you see the difference there. You kind of need to tuck at them a bit here to get them nice and even like this. On to round 8 in Amalola. And now we're using our new color B, which is going to be the petal color, the flower petal color. And we start by doing 4 single crochets, and I'm going to work over my tail here. So we do 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4th goes into the corner chain, and this is an all single crochet round. Actually, it's actually exactly the same as round 8 in Saga, but round 9 is a bit different, so that's why I'm showing this one. So now we do 17 single crochets and 2 chains for the corner. So 17 here over each side, and then 2 chains for the corner. That's all that's happening in this round. Very basic stuff. Okay, I'm going to drop my tail there, which I've been working over. And just work on single crochet into each stitch. Back loop always, of course. Okay, 16 and 17, and then chain 2. Okay, so it's just like this the whole way around. 17 here on each side, and then you finish the round with 13 single crochets here and join. Okay, I'm gonna finish and then I'll show you how to finish. I'm gonna get it along and show you how to finish the round. Okay, I've moved it a bit along, always 17 single crochets between corners, chain 2 for the corner, and then we finish it here with 13 single crochets at the last side. So this is 11, 12, and the 13th goes here into the join, sort of into this stitch here, and also into the single crochet here below. And we're going to tuck at the color A, have it nice and tight, and work over our tail here to hide it from the back, and then we join into the back loop, not into the chain here, into the back loop of the first single crochet of the round with a slip stitch and our upcoming color A, button, and chain 1 to fasten it. Okay, so that was round 8, and we can cut our tail here. So I already worked over it. So if you work over your tail in the first round, if you weave that in the beginning, then you just can always work over your tails and cut them as you go. So that was round 8, all done. Okay, on to round 9, and this is actually the last round I'm going to show you here today, because then the rest is all just exactly like I already showed you in the Saga square. So we start here by doing, we're going to work over our tail, because I have a new tail here from, no, already worked over the tail, sorry. We're going to start by doing 2 single crochets. Already did the chain there, and then we do 2 single crochets and then 2 double crochets into the first corner chain here from round 7. Okay, and then 2 chains, and now we get to the repeat, and this round is actually almost exactly the same as for Saga round 9, but it's just a tad different. So we start by doing 2 double crochets here in the corner and the second corner chain, and then we're going to do 7 single crochets, and 7, and where in Saga we just did a normal DC, we're going to do a front post DC for Lola here. So we did 7 single crochets and then a front post DC around our 2 together here front post from round 9. Yeah, so we insert our hook behind these 2 here, pull the yarn up, always give it a bit of an extra slack, and go through 2, and we want this one to be really nice and neat, so, and 2 again. Okay, like so. And then we do again 7 single crochets. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 double crochets here in the first corner chain from round 7. So, and then chain 2 for the corner. Okay, so the repeat here for round 9 is 2 double crochets here in the corner chain, 7 single crochets, 1 front post DC here instead of just a DC normally like we did for Saga, 7 single crochets, 2 doubles in the corner chain here, and 2 chains to make up the corner. Okay, I'm gonna do the 2 more repeats and then I'll show you how to finish the round. Okay, so now I've done the 2 more repeats for round 9, and to finish the round we do again here 2 double crochets in the corner chain, and then 7 single crochets, and then 1 front post double crochet around these 2 here, front post from round 7, give them a bit of a slack, not too much though, there we go, perfect, and then we finish it with 4 single crochets, no sorry 5 single crochets, we started with 2, 5 more, that's 7, 3, 4, and 5, and on the 5th we want to go through both these here and pop our upcoming color up on the hook to work the last stitch around that one. And then we join into the back loop of the first single crochet of the round with our color B, tucking at it first to make everything nice and tight at the join, and chain 1. And so this is the last round that I am going to show you here now of Amalola, because then you just follow rounds 10 to 23, exactly as I already showed you in the saga square, which is, we're already up to here, and then you just finished everything is the same as we did before. And yeah, you keep on going and do rounds 10 to 23 in the saga square. Whoop! Whoopa! Amalola already.